Hey guys, Huzz here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another patch note breakdown. So we've not done one of these in a little while, and it's because League has a thing of kind of going massive patch, little tiny patch, and that could be a couple times in a row. So we've got 9.3, which I have been told is quite a large patch, which with significant changes. And I will say there is a slight frustration within me, and I presume a lot of the community, in the fact that we just had something called preseason for 3 months, where it's great opportunity to test new things, to see what would work, what wouldn't, and there's not much to risk when you're making these changes because it's not in a rank season. And yet we come out of preseason and we get a lot of changes. You know, a lot of people did say, why didn't they have the testing to roll ranked in preseason? Sap Magic did come out and say it's because people don't take preseason seriously enough, because it would give roll ranked an unfair chance, which is like, okay. But then this is the first patch of technically the new season, and there's a lot of stuff, man. Like, look how much stuff there is. Item changes, like usually item changes when basically they're changing the AD carry build completely, would be done in preseason. So it's a little frustration for me. So anyway, let's see what they're saying. So it's welcome to 9.3, the patch that's like milk because we're elevating a lot of space, or alleviating a lot of space. On the champion front, we're wrapping up mechanics, clean up on Aatrox, Akali, and Aurelia to ensure they've got meaningful weaknesses opponents that can capitalize on. That sounds nice. Item-wise, we're taking a deep pass on Marksman Items to solve the build satisfaction issues Marksmen have and have been frustrated by since mid-season last year. Again, if it's been this bad from last year, why didn't they do this in preseason? I don't know. Because again, just to point out, and I fully understand that when it comes to game design, you're not going to get perfect straight away. Like, you just aren't. You know, you're going to hit or miss. Something's going to get too buffed. Something's going to get too nerfed. So these changes that they're going to make, they're going to have to adjust in the new rank season. It's just a bit weird to me. We're also changing farm bounties, so players who farm their way back from a deficit aren't treated the same way as a champion who ran away with a huge CS lead to begin with. So basically, we'll find out later, but the argument that people had was, you go, let's say, 0-2 in the first 5 minutes in top lane, but then you don't die for the next 15 minutes, and you just farm in top lane, you'll get yourself a bounty for doing that, even though your lane opponent is ahead of you. Because you died twice in the early game, you're going to go passive, just farm up a bit, you're going to get yourself like a 300-400 gold bounty just by doing that, which some people are like, why is the person that's behind getting a bounty? Shouldn't a bounty system kind of be the people that are doing well? And I do kind of agree. Again, I generally like the bounty system because I really dislike the playstyle that some people have, is like, I'm just going to farm for half an hour and then show up. Well, if you do that, you've got a 1,000 gold bounty. So, yeah, I kind of like it. So let's get into it to begin with. So the champions that they're changing, Aatrox, Akali, and Aurelia. We'll go through each of them at a time because all three have had these, I don't want to say controversies around them, but there are people out there that, again, could be misunderstanding what strength is in League, but they'll look at the win rates of these champions and they'll kind of go, why is that getting nerfed? So for example, what I'll do is I'll bring up the win rate on each champion as we kind of talk about them. So Aatrox right now, before this, has a 45, nearly 46% win rate in top lane and a 46% win rate in mid. So when people look at that, especially people who are new in leagues, like, wait, they're nerfing him when he's got a 46% win rate in 2 roles. What do, Riot? Again, what you have to understand about League in general is League is what we call a top-down game in game design. So instead of balancing the game for the average player, instead of balancing for the new player, they have to balance from the top down. Because the game is so emphasized about the rank climb, getting high rated, competitive play. So that's what they got to do. And that's why a lot of people, just as a little side track there, the last recent years when Riot has been implementing more casual things, it's a contradiction in the game design of the game. It's a top-down game, but then when you implement something like role ranked or dynamic queue, that's not a top-down mentality, that's a bottom-up mentality. So that's why some people have issues with it, it's because, like, that doesn't fit. But anyway, Aatrox himself, his health regen is going from 5 to 8. So that is actually a buff. And his health regen growth is also going up. So whenever you see like, hey, a minute, they're buffs, they're compensating for something coming later. So his E is healing versus non-healing champions has been removed. He no longer heals with his E. It was a passive, I believe, when it was a part of his E, the dash ability. When he attacked minions, he basically got regen. That's no longer a thing. And then the charges, Aatrox can no longer store charges. So what is it now? So the cooldown has been... Wow, he's been gutted. Holy moly. So it used to be a 3-second cooldown on his E. So if you had 2 stacks of your E, you could dash, you know, once, 3 seconds later, dash again. So now you can't even stack the charges. So I think you only can have 1 charge at a time. And also, you at rank 1, it's a 9-second cooldown. It used to be a 3-second cooldown. And late game, it used to be a 1-second cooldown. It's now a 5-second cooldown. So it's even nerfed in its late game rank with its lowest cooldown comparing to what its rank 1 cooldown used to be. But they are saying now reduced by cooldown reduction. So it is affected by cooldown reduction. But let's, for example, say you get to the 40% cooldown reduction. Your 40% cooldown reduction is what? Going to get that to maybe about 3 seconds? Maybe just over 3.2 seconds? Ooh, like if I was an Aatrox player, I never picked him up because I just didn't enjoy his new kit. That's a tough deal, man. Again, Aatrox, and when, you know, people go, so what was wrong with Aatrox? In top down, incredibly unhealthy to play against. It basically rewarded players for making a mistake a lot of the time that you couldn't punish people for that mistake. That's what League a lot of the time is about, is that at least at the highest level, even above where I am in ranked, is no mistakes happen, and then that one split mistake, boom, you're in. That's your opening. But a champion like Aatrox just denied you from that even opportunity because it didn't matter if he made a mistake. He had 2 dashes within 3 seconds of each other. His passive, if he took a bad trade, even without any items, he'll regen to full health by auto-attacking. It's just very unhealthy. And I will say there is more likely a point, especially with some of these champions that they're nerfing, they probably don't want Aatrox in competitive play anymore. Possibly. Like, it is definitely a thing that they're like, okay, we've had enough Aatrox mids in competitive. Let's kind of just get rid of him and let's, you know, build the way for new mid laners, because Aatrox was also, I'd say, a stopping block champion. That you couldn't play some mid laners who may be strong right now because Aatrox is a thing. Well, now he's... I'm going to make a bold prediction that he's pretty much gone now, if I'm honest. So... bye. Sorry, Aatrox one tricks. Again, whenever these type of nerfs happen, the boards that, you know, their subreddits and stuff, ooh, it's spicy. Okay, Akali. So again, another massive problematic champion. And I'll say, if you are an Akali player, I'm going to say the words. I actually felt sorry for you with the rework. Not because it wasn't cool. Like, I'll admit, the rework was cool, but the rework was just broken. So again, this is another example that will go on Akali. And her win rate right now in mid lane is 44%. Her top lane is 46%. So this is, again, the mentality that people go, you never can nerf a champion with that win rate. Again, that's why I've always said to people, never take win rate as the indication to if a champion is strong or not, because it's not a true indication. It's just a very... it's an idea. Basically, you know, what you have to take into account is these win rates are always using Platinum Plus games from every region, and they acclimate everything to that win rate. The problem with that is, once again, when it comes to game design and balance, when you're doing top-down, you're not really going to be balancing Akali to people that are picking up the champion for the first time or their first 10 games. You're balancing Akali and every champion in League to the player that plays it a lot, to the player that's good at that champion. And the problem with Akali is, if you were good at her, basically the most obnoxious champion in League of Legends history is what I want to say. Even more than Zoe in levels of obnoxious. This is just annoying to play against. And when you're in a video game, you're like, God, it's just so annoying to play against that. Who didn't ban it? Like, it's just frustrating. So there was another point that people made, and I did as well when she got announced, is about 6 months prior to Akali's reveal of her rework, Riot did a complete rework on the stealth system in League of Legends. So they made very hard rules of what stealth is, and there's 2 different types. When Akali got announced and we got her abilities, very quickly people noticed her W, which is there, ignored those hard rules. It just straight up ignored them. And it was like, wait, but 6 months ago, you guys defined what stealth and camouflage is. And they're like, yeah, we've not doing that anymore. They're like, what? What are you doing? And again, that's where the kind of certainly T mentality comes from. I do believe he did this as well, the Riot. If I'm wrong, sorry. But again, certainly T's mentality of champions in League, which is shown time and time again, is I only care about the player that's on my champion, not the rest of the game, not the health of the game. It's the experience of the person that's playing my champion. And that's the problem with Akali. It was just so obnoxious to play against. So to make up for a little thing, so they are increasing her base health regen because her Q no longer heals. Again, a lot of people also question that, and it's being removed, so no wonder. But why did she have a crazy heal as an assassin like that? Like every 5 seconds or something silly. Like it was just like boom, she just got a fifth of her health back, or a third of her health back. It's like, what? How do you deal with that? And when you basically combined every single one of her points, and then you're against a good Akali, you never could beat her in lane. And then she got to the stage that she could basically tower dive you every 30 seconds, and there was nothing you could do about it because her W didn't get affected by towers. Like she could not get hit, so she did a bunch of damage. You would ult you, W away, take 0 damage, and you're kind of there like, oh. So she can't heal anymore, which I think will help. So just to kind of point, they are removing all this. So we don't need to read it. This whole thing is being removed, which is the heal. And then also the W, which I'd say is Akali's more problematic thing. I'll be honest. So Akali players can kind of go, oh, okay. If they just removed the W, I wouldn't have had that big of an issue with the heal. It was the combination of the two that she could outtrade you with damage, but then heal a little bit back, and then go under tower, do the exact same thing, potentially even burst you with her ultimate, and because she's getting healed, it's like, okay, she got healed, but then she can W away in the tower and be completely, like, immune, and it's like, what? So I don't know. Anyway, they are removing the stealth from the turrets, so Twilight Shroud no longer prevents turrets from revealing Akali. So that means if she's under tower or in range of tower and she goes invisible with her W, you'll see her. She is no longer invisible like every other stealth in the game. And that's the point. If Rengar goes under a tower, if Twitch goes under a tower, if Evelyn goes under a tower, there they are. They're there. That's how stealth works. Turrets are supposed to be like, they can see everything. And that's why everyone was so confused about Akali. It was like, wait, what? 6 months ago, you guys like changed it. What's going on? So they are also nerfing the cooldown of it, by the way. So rank 1 is staying the same, but then very slowly it's going all the way to 13 seconds instead of 11. So some people will say rip Akali, and I will say yes, 100% to the average player that is probably contributing to that really bad win rate. The average player that is making that champion have a terrible win rate, probably they won't be playing Akali anymore. But I'd wager that if I went on the Akali boards on Reddit, there may be some people very frustrated going, oh, they ruined our champion. But I actually probably, in the back of my head, probably think there's a lot of Akali players that are actually kind of happy. Because they'll actually be able to play Akali. If they like her general playstyle, her playstyle really hasn't changed that much. Like, yes, you can't heal anymore. So that was a kind of a thing that people were doing, is trading and then healing. And yes, now you can't go for them stupid tower dives. But other than that, like, the champion is basically the same. So I don't think people are going to ban her anymore. But for people that actually love the playstyle in general, I think they'll continue to play her. So again, this is going to be an off-putting thing to people to pick her up. It's going to be an off-putting thing to kind of go, oh, people say Akali's overpowered, I'll play her this game. I think that will go away, but to Akali one-tricks, I think they'll be kind of happy. Like, I did hear that there was a lot of chatter in the Akali community going, can we just get her reverted to old Akali? Like, I heard that apparently that was going on. And I will say, I'm not going to say there isn't a chance for that to happen, by the way, because if this fails and she continues to be banned a lot and people can't play her even though they get rid of this stuff and people are just like, no, we hate the playstyle of that champion, they might, like, they've done it before. Rengar, LeBlanc both got reverted. They kept their new aesthetics if they got any. Like, they'll keep the look of the new Akali, but they could just revert her to the old version. I'm saying it's a possibility. So, yeah. So, bye-bye Akali, really, from being the really ridiculous, obnoxious pick that it was. Again, I don't have a problem with the champion per se. It was just the combination of when you added everything together, it was just annoying. Like, energy champion that could out-trade you and then also out-heal you because of the Q, and then has obviously dashes with her ultimate, because then you can go onto tower, you can even ult somebody if they try to flash away, and people normally go, oh, I'm under tower, I'm safe. Well, you're not, because her W ignored the tower. Like, she just kept going in and out of tower, dealing damage, and then not really taking any damage. It was kind of like, that is just not fun to play against. So it got nerfed, because it got banned so much. And again, pointing out that a lot of people, even in this video, kind of go, oh, she was never a problem. In your rating, she may not have been. And again, this is where some go, elitist. But no, like, again, the game is different at different levels. Would I say Akali was an issue in Silver? Probably not, to be honest. So the vast majority of the player base would probably have the opinion, oh, there's nothing wrong with her. Every Akali in my game sucks. But that's, again, the mentality of a top-down game. They're balancing that to Challenger, to Master, to High Diamond. They're not balancing that to Silver. Because a Silver player probably wouldn't have been as good as a Challenger player mechanically to pull off the Akali. So yeah, just keep that in mind whenever you see these nerfs. You're like, but that doesn't make sense. It's because they're balancing it from top down. E. Oh, wow. They are nerfing a Camille very slightly. So basically, her hookshot, her E, no longer stuns minions or monsters. For those that are wondering, what's that about? Like, why even make the change? It just makes her jungle clear a little bit weaker. Like, just a little bit. You know, that stun, if it saved her getting auto-attacked once or twice, well, that adds up. If that minion doing that auto-attack, let's say, deals 50 damage to you with that one auto-attack, and she, every single time she uses E, stops a minion auto-attacking her twice. So every single time she uses E on a jungle camp, it saves her 100 health. 10 jungle camps, that's 1,000 health. That's the difference of going back and not going back at one time. So it does add up, and that's what you got to think of these little changes. When people go to me, oh, why are they buffing something for 0.1 of a ratio? It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's the adding up concept. Is that adding up, if that gives you 50 more damage per ability for the course of the whole game, you know, that could be an extra 3,000, 4,000 damage, which is significant. So that's the way you got to think of balance. Again, pointing out, I do have a degree in computer science specializing in game design, so maybe I can like articulate why they do these changes a little bit better, I would hope. And I will say, if you've got any questions about these patch notes, feel free to ask questions in the comments down below. I will say this video is probably going to go quite long, by the way, because there's a lot of changes. It might be like an hour. I don't know. Cassiopeia, probably going to get nerfed, if I had to guess. Q base damage decrease late, ratio increase. W damage reduce late, cost increase late. That's good. So Cassio at the moment is being played in 2 lanes nearly equally, I want to say. Like, we'll have a little look, but yeah, really, like, you see them in top and mid. So in mid lane, solid performance at the moment. Her most played role. Wow, no, it's actually AD carry is statistically her second role. To be honest, I've been seeing quite a lot of Cassio tops. Anyway, her damage has got nerfed on base, increased in buffs, increasing ratio. So again, this is what we were just talking about. So very minute nerfs. So 75 has stayed the same. Then that's got nerfed 10. But by late game, it's got nerfed 40. So again, the principle of nerfing that is, let's say you get ranked level 5 at what? Level 10? I can't remember. But around there, you're going to be landing a lot of Qs on people. And that 40 damage nerf at max rank, it adds up. Every single time you do it, it's 40 damage less. But they are trying to make up for it with a 0.1 ratio percentage, which basically means if she gets the late game, this is a buff. Or if she snowballs, it's a buff. If not, if you're having a bad time on Cassiopeia, this is a big nerf. So a 0.1 ratio, so for example, if you have a 1 ratio and something does 100 damage, but it has a 0.1 ratio as well, if you have 50 AP, you'll do, and it has a 0.1 ratio damage increase, no, not 0.1, a 1 AP ratio increase. So per 1 ability power, you're getting 1 more damage on the ability. You know, you got 50 ability power, you do 50 more damage. So what this is basically saying that, you know, it was 0.8, it's now 0.9. So really, again, if we just go off the basic, you know, she has a 50 ability power, she's going to have a lot more. Like, Cassiopeia can get 500 ability power by late game. You'll notice it'll add up. Well, let's go with 500 ability power. If she's got 500 ability power in late game, will it do more, the 0.1 increase, than 40 damage nerf from base? 100% yes. So that's my point. It's a buff in late game, and it's also a buff if you're snowballing, because you'll get that AP quicker. But it's a nerf if you're having a bad time. It would be interesting to work out the math, which I can't be bothered to do at the moment. But where does the threshold flip? What ability power do you need on Cassio to make that actually a buff, not a nerf? I would, if I had to guess just off the top of my head, probably around 200, I would say. 200, 250. And that's just a random guess that's like in my head. I'm just like thinking. But yeah, probably around there. W Miasma, her mana, okay, that's interesting. It used to be 70 on all ranks. It's now significantly more expensive, 110. For those, again, that want to work out why is this a thing, in late game, when you've got to manage your mana pool a lot, you know, more, and make sure, because those fights, you know, it's weird because you get a lot more mana regen in late game, but the fights are more meaningful. Like, one fight could lose you the game, so you got to be very careful with what you're casting and why. And what this does is a 40 mana increase by Miasma will make you basically not, if you're very close to going out of mana, you basically have to make the choice of, do I cast a Miasma or do I cast 2 Noxus Blasts? You know, that's, or like, you know, a few of your E's. That 40 mana can make that difference. So, yeah. Also, it has got nerfed, and its max damage has also got nerfed. So, I'm completely fine with that change. The reason why is W Miasma should never... It's not a damage ability. It's a utility ability. It's the one that you put on the floor and people can't dash away. They can't flash out of it if they're in it. It's a utility spell. It shouldn't really do that much damage. So I'm fine with that. Aurelia. So Aurelia has seen her fair share of issues as well when it comes to game design. So again, just to give the examples, currently she is sitting at a 44% win rate in top lane and a 42% win rate in mid lane. So again, people kind of go, why is she getting nerfed? It's because of the top-down principle. It would be interesting, actually, if I changed... Oh, I can't. Let's see if I can find the statistic very quickly on Aurelia in... Ah, damn. Okay, well, I can do Diamond Plus. So her win rate from Platinum to Diamond does increase, and that'll only get better and higher when it comes to Master and Challenger. But yeah, so she does have bad win rates, but again, it's a top-down principle, and it also, you have to kind of talk about game health, and really just champion health in general. Does she need everything on her kit that she currently has? And the answer to that is definitely no. Like, the idea of Aurelia, to me, should have, and they, you know, when Riot reworked her, they said they were going to keep her core philosophy. So Aurelia back in the day was a auto-attacking bruiser that, you know, did maybe a tiny bit of burst, but nothing major. It was like a Q burst with her sheen. That was it. But what they turned her into was still an auto-attacking bruiser that had a multi-stun, that had a disarm, that had obviously a lot of burst with her Q, and then also a damage reduction with her W. You know, she did she need the damage reduction is what I'm going to ask. And I don't know what they're doing here, but we'll find out. So, her, again, these are compensation buffs because of they're probably doing some nerfs. Her passive. So, her passive has gone from... Per stack that she gets, so she, with auto-attacking and stuff, she gets stacks, I believe. She can now get 5 stacks instead of 4. But per stack, it used to give a bit of attack damage on hit. It now gives attack speed on hit instead. That's in... Oh, that is... Okay, if they're doing that, I'm pretty happy. So, what did I just say Aurelia used to be? An auto-attacking bruiser. They changed her a lot more into like a spell casting bruiser to focus less on auto attacks, if we're honest. Like, you know, get that stun, get the Q proc, get your ultimate, get the Q. It was about getting the Q procs from the bonus damage and the reset for the Q. If they're changing her back to be auto attacking focused, I'm actually pretty happy about that. But yeah, you can get 5 of them now, up to a 12% attack speed increase per stack. Wow. Max stacks has gone up to 60%. And max stack bonus, Oh, wait, it's still... Oh, they've swapped it. Interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. So what they've done is just swap the strength of the passive. The strength of the passive used to be attack damage, I think. And then they've swapped it now to be attack speed. If they've done that, that's really cool. Oh, yeah, okay, they have. So before a maximum rank, you got a 50% attack speed bonus at level 13. But now you get a 60% attack speed bonus at level... I presume, yeah, level 13. But you're still getting bonus attack damage as well. So it starts at 15 attack damage on hit. Oh, 15 damage on hit, right, okay. So that's what they've done. So it's bonus attack damage on hit. So she's not giving, they're not giving her AD, they're just giving her attack damage on hit. Basically extra damage. Honestly, I'd have to wrap my brain around how the math is going to work out on that if it's actually a nerf, if I'm honest. Like, I'd probably need a good 10 minutes just to work it out. But I'm guessing it's just a change. I might not even call it a nerf. Again, I really want to know. So they're giving... So per stack, they're giving attack speed. You can now get 5 stacks. You can now get that amount of attack speed per stack, and then you're also get... God, that might even be... Is that a buff? No. I'd need more time to look it up and think about it. The bonus damage to minions has gone up. What? Really? So yeah, her Q, she gets bonus damage to minions, so that means that she can kill minions slightly quicker. I don't think Aurelia had any problems killing minions with her Q. I think that was one of her strengths, but okay. Her W, here we go. Oh my, thank God they've done that. Okay, that's fine. So what they've done is it used to be a 40% reduced physical and magic damage for the W. It is now a 50% for physical, but no longer does anything to magical. Oh, that's so better. Like, again, when you're playing something like Leblanc and the Aurelia in mid, for example, by the way, this is just getting rid of Aurelia mid, but you're a Leblanc, and you're a burst champion, and you go for Aurelia at level 6 with your full combo, and you basically just dink her, and you're like, what? It's because 40% of your damage just got, decreased, and 40% in the early games, a lot. But now she no longer does anything damage reduction to a mage. Oh, that's so much better. I will say that's a buff to her in top lane, kinda. You know, imagine something like Renekton or something like that. They're going to be doing even less damage to an Aurelia, so that is worth noting. Her E hitbox visuals are easier to see. So what they've done with Aurelia is, in all honesty, they're just moving her out of mid lane. So again, they might actually explain it here. We're swapping, this is the passive, so maybe this will get me to understand it quicker. We're swapping Ionian Fervor's bonuses. Now attack speed per stack, on hit damage when fully stacked to reduce the burstiness of her initial oh, they're getting rid of burst. Okay. And gives her enemies a wider window before her damage is fully online. So basically what they're doing is not letting her have burst as well. Like we mentioned earlier, she used to be this attack damage, attack speed, auto-attacking bruiser before the rework that did a bit of burst, but it was never her strength. She turned into like one-shotting champions. You're kind of like, why isn't Aurelia one-shotting people? Like, that should never be a thing. And they're getting rid of that. So if you, until you're getting attack speed to just do the early trades, and then after a little while, as you're building those stacks, then you'll start to get more damage. Then you start to get your burst nearing the end of a fight, not the beginning. Oh, that's better. Well done. Okay, that's interesting. So I will say there are going to be definitely Aurelia players that are going to get caught out in the next few days that like, I'm going to still play Aurelia mid and just get one shot by a LeBlanc or something. You'll be like, aha, that's what it should have been. But yeah, cool. So she's basically a top laner from now on. Or if someone, let's say, blind picks Zed, this is maybe even a buff to people like who play Zed or Talon. Aurelia might be better into those champions. Just saying. All right, so champion first encounter VO. Change the name to champion factions. I don't care about that. All right, marksman items. So again, we've been already going with just the champion stuff for nearly half an hour. And we've got all these items that Riot are doing, which is kind of insane. And there are also more simple buffs and nerfs. Oh my god. Again, why didn't you do this in pre-season? This is insane. All right, so I'm going to go through them kind of quick, if I'm honest. So, this patch, what they're trying to do is crit users are excited about their core build again. Oh, they're bringing crit back. Crit builds are generally more satisfying to play. Crit users can fit defensive into their core if they need it. So, just to kind of mention, luck is something in League that people generally dislike. Luck, anything that relies on luck isn't skill. And a lot of people want League to be known as a skill game, not a luck game. It's also why Zoe is such a hated champion, because her whole kit is also based around RNG. Her W is arguably her strongest ability if you actually know Zoe in and out. And when it's like, oh, you just got a redemption for no reason, yeah, that sucks. The other thing with luck in League, because Riot it was weird. Riot went through a phase of getting rid of everything luck in League, but then recently, in the last couple of years, they've been slowly bringing back elements of luck again. For example, dragons are luck. If your team is an early game snowballing team and there's 3 Infernal Dragons that spawn in a row, that's pretty lucky. If you're a late game team and you're losing early game, but the enemy team gets like Ocean Dragons, that's pretty lucky. At least they didn't get Infernals. The plants, pretty lucky because they just spawn kind of at random times. Like, people aren't keeping track of them. It's like, oh god, I'm really low health. Oh, a health plant or a explosive plant just spawned. Boing. There's definitely luck elements there. And the other thing when it comes to luck is crit. Crit is like the 2 OG luck things in League of Legends have always been crit, and it used to be dodge. And if you're newish to League, well, really not new. If you haven't played League for 8 years, dodge used to be in the game. There was items that literally had something called dodge, and the higher dodge you had, the more likely you would dodge someone's auto attack. I can't remember if you could dodge spells. I don't think you could, but I think it was just that. And Jax as a champion had dodge as his passive with his E. But they got rid of that because it was luck. But crit stayed, because I think crit is just a staple of video gaming. And if they're bringing back crit, I'm going to be honest, I'm not that happy about it, because it's really not satisfying when you've outplayed the enemy, you've killed somebody. It's like, right, I've now got to get away from the AD carry. I'm really low health. It's like, all right, I can survive 1 auto attack. You get autoed, and it's like, oh, I survived. But in an alternate situation of that, okay, I've got to survive 1 auto attack, and they crit me and I'm dead. Like, that was nothing the AD carry did in that situation. There was no skill involved. They just got that lucky crit. So yeah, I don't like it. Cloak of Agility. This is only first because it would be weird to see Infinity Edge and Essence 3 that otherwise welcome back Crit Cloak. So they are bringing back an item that for some reason they got rid of. So it costs 800 gold. It gives you 20% flat damage. Again, by the way, they changed a lot of these crit stuff a few months ago, maybe up to a year ago, and a lot of people are unhappy about it. So they're basically just reverting, by the looks of it, the change that they made. I will say, the one thing that I would like the balance team or whoever does these changes to actually do moving forward is talk to the community before they make big changes. Is going to go, a year ago when they made these initial changes, getting rid of crit, kind of going, hey, community, should we get rid of crit or should we keep it? Instead of just doing it. And I know they're the experts, it's their job, it's their profession, but when, let's say, they have a design team, or I'm going to be generous and say 30 people, and that's being generous. I doubt they have 30 people in this one department. That's not going to be more than the 100 million 100 million league players, let alone how many ranked players there are. If you just go at the end of every, I don't know, diamond game for a week, diamond plus game, platinum plus game, whatever, kind of just have a survey going, what do you think of crit items? And just get all the data that way. Like, I don't know why they don't do that. Infinity Edge. So we'll read this little blurb just to get a little bit more of an understanding before we kind of go into the stats. Increases critical strike damage instead of partially converting crits to true damage. Oh, thank God. Grants critical strike chance instead of doubling crit chance from other sources. So it's just the old Infinity Edge. So again, they changed it to give true damage, whichever was like, but it's a crit item. It's like, it's the crit item. So they're basically bringing it back. Again, I can't remember what Infinity Edge used to be, but I remember it very much looked like this. Like, had crit on it, it had AD, and it also just gave you, like, it was the Rabadons for AD carries. But instead of giving you attack damage percentage, it gave you crit percentage, because I guess that's how AD carries built. But yeah, like, this looks, from memory, exactly what Infinity Edge used to be. It might be actually the exact same build as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they've gone through phases of Infinity Edge. Like, when they first changed it, it was 2 BF swords, and then they changed it to a BF sword pickaxe, and now they've just brung it back the whole way around, so that's kind of funny. Also, all an upgrade just gives more attack damage. Wait, what? Oh, they've buffed it, another 10 damage. Okay, cool. So it also gives 80 attack damage flat. Ooh, that could be a rush item again. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's going to go back to the old build, isn't it? It's going to go back the old build before, when this item was, before. It was you bought a Zeal, and you left that there, and then you bought an Infinity Edge, and then you finished the Zeal item. I can guarantee it's going back to that build. For champions like Tristana and stuff like that, yeah, it's going to go back to that build. Cool. I'll say, I don't like crit, but I like that build a lot. It was a lot better build. Essence Reaver now grants critical strike chance, no longer grants mana or Essence Flare. Wait. If you're wondering why am I reacting this way, is because I think Riot haven't thought about actually who uses this item at the moment. Oh dear. Wait. So it costs a bit more. It has a little bit less AD because it's now got crit. It still gives 20% cooldown reduction. It no longer gives mana, so that means it no longer gives mana refund. And it also now doesn't do Essence Flare. Your next basic attack after casting your ultimate no longer grants Essence Flare for 6 seconds, granting 50% attack speed. Oh. What's the point of the item then? I'm confused. So Essence Reaver used to be an item that, yeah, like up here. People like Renekton and Riven like this, but it's going back. Oh, okay, so that's what they've done. I was so scared that they basically made this better for Riven and Renekton, but they haven't. The reason why they haven't is because they got rid of this. Whew, that was close. So, like, Riven and Renekton and Jax basically abused this item to near enough have permanent, like, stun locks for people and stuff. It was just obnoxious. So, yeah, okay. And their ultimate was always... Oh no, a 20% basic ability cooldown and refund. So legit, when you had crazy attack speed as Jax, Renekton, because his W counted as 2, Riven if she's really good with her combos, they permanently had their abilities up. You got literally locked by a Jax or Renekton or Riven if they knew what they were doing with just Essence Reaver. That's gone. Oh, top lane might be balanced again. Because when you actually thought about all the top laners that were like in solo queue, that were like, these champions are obnoxiously strong as well, it was those 3. They haven't got Jax here for some reason, but it was Jax, Riven, Renekton. Again, Renekton fell off in late game. The other 2 didn't. But it was just so annoying. You never could 1v1 them. And even if you were somebody that also played an Essence Reaver champion, it was basically just who attacked first would probably win. So that's gone. Like, as somebody that plays top like 50% of my games, I'm pretty happy about that. Because, oh, it was annoying. It was so, like, I said it in a video not that long ago, when something like Renekton or Riven was buying an item that had mana on it, but they didn't care, you know there's a problem with the item. So, yeah. Alright, so we've got a new item. Spear of Shojin. Grants attack damage, health, cooldown reduction, and Awakened Dragon. Renamed... Oh, they've just moved it. Okay. Per the Essence Reaver context, several champions make good use of Essence Flare. Don't say they're doing this. If it's just that they're mostly not marksmen. We made a new item for them. Riot. No. I literally just said it was so annoying to play against those champions. Don't do it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. If they've done what I think they've done. Oh, no. It gives 60 attack damage. It gives health. It gives cooldown reduction. Oh my god, they did it. Oh, what are you doing? They've just moved it to a bruiser item. So like I just said, what did I just say? It was a problem when you had champions that don't have mana buy an item that had mana on it because they didn't care. Like, cost effectiveness, really bad when you're buying stats you don't need. But the ability was so overpowered on those champions that they bought the item anyway. What Riot have just done, which for the life of me I do not understand, is make an item that all the stats are useful on them, so there's no wasted stats, there's no mana, and they still get the same ability. It's literally the same ability. Look, Essence Flare, 6 seconds, 50% attack speed, 20% basic cooldown reduction. Where is it? 6 seconds, 50% attack damage, and 20%... What the... God. Alright, expect to see way more Rivens, way more Renekton's, way more Jaxes, unless they do some type of nerf to those 3 champions. Like, I know there's even been people saying, oh, there needs to be a buff to Renekton. I know the SRO guy, not SRO, RTO, there's 2 of them now. But the RTO guy has been constantly on Twitter, like, showing the win rate and kind of going, and he needs a buff, which again, win rate isn't an indication of that. But it's like... Dude, when you have this item, you can run your Tiamat and then whatever this is called, Spirit Shojin. How do you fight Renekton at level 10? You won't be able to. Like, what? That's ridiculous. Oh my god, people like, the bruises right now. Again, I like bruises. I will be buying this item, so I'm not going to just miss out on the item. I think it's just a... Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I accidentally got too excited. Pressed the space bar on my keyboard, and that apparently stops my recording. But yeah, I think I'll use the item, like I was saying. I just think it's a really bad idea. I think it's just not going to be balanced. I think it's an unhealthy playstyle to give bruisers basically 100% lockout on a champion with a lot of damage, with also health. Oh, you can tell I'm frustrated, because to me, you know when this would have been perfect to test if it wasn't overpowered and not in an actual rank season? In pre-season! Annoying. Stormrazor now amplifies your energized effects and causes them to slow the target. No longer grants a guaranteed critical strike after not basic attacking for a few seconds. Oh, okay. So, it's a buff. It's a more expensive. Its build has changed. It has less attack damage, it's got less attack speed, but it now gives movement and basic attacks generate energized stacks. At 100 stacks, your next basic attack deals 65 bonus magic damage on hit and slows the target by 40%, decaying over 1 second. New, your other energized effects are 30% more effective and slow their target. Oh, so they're getting rid of that. So basically they're just changing this into a static shiv. Kinda. A attack damage, a more attack damage static shiv, I guess. Yeah. So they basically, but moving it from the crit system into energized system, so it's not just a bumper on the front of Infinity Edge builds. So it's an option. You can build it, you don't have to. This is no longer a rush item, by the way, everybody. I doubt it anyway. Because why it was such a good rush item is because you were getting a guaranteed crit. You know, walk into lane with Storm's, whatever it's called, Stormrazor, attack the enemy support, you crit them, they're half health, they have to go back. That was the strength of the item. Phantom Dancer has got a small cost nerf. Its build has changed. Its attack speed has gone down quite significant. Its crit has gone down quite significant, but you're now getting something called Lifeline. If you would take damage that reduce your health by 30%, gain a shield. What? Gain a shield that absorbs from... Are you serious, Riot? They're giving AD carries a 600 shield when something would otherwise kill them. If you're wondering why I'm quiet, it's because I'm actually trying to think why. No, I can't. No, because I'll say one thing. When a crit meta is for AD carries, which it looks like it's coming back, one type of support does well, and it's one that I've been giving a hard time recently. Enchanter supports do well when crit metas, because a lot of the Enchanter supports just buff the AD carry, and they can just do crazy crits and go mental, and that Enchanter support is all about just keeping that person alive. Why do they need a shield from an item when they're going to have a lot more Enchanter supports in this meta giving them shields? Recently, not even that recent, but for the last year or two, people have been saying how unhealthy shields are for the game. And like people have been saying, could there be an item that we could have like a cut through percentage through shields? Like there's been a big thing about it. And then you're giving an AD carry a shield. Again, if you're an AD carry player, I bet you're smiling ear to ear. I just think it's stupid. And again, this is the type of thing that they should have tested in pre-season. It's ridiculous to me that they didn't do this in a testing period of the game. And they're going to go in, oh, the new rank season's here. You all care about your rank. Have a new AD carry meta. Okay. All right, so a small nerf to the Shard. A 100 gold from Zeal. Rapid Fire's gone down. Also crit percentage to make up for it, so you can just buy it earlier. Rapid Fire... Runans has gone down. Still going to be good, though, because, again, if you're wondering why are these getting all crit nerfs, because some people go, Huz, you're saying it's a crit meta, but why is all the items getting crit nerfed? Because of that. Where is it? There you go. Now increases critical strike damage by 25%. So your crits are doing more damage every crit. That's why. All right, so... Static Shiv gone down, attack speed's gone up, and the crit chance has gone down. Ooh, wow, really? Static Shiv might be... Oh, they're basically just trying to keep it on par with the other two. Okay, I get it. Last Whisper, cost increase, attack damage, and armor penetration increased. I'll say one thing that also gains strength in a crit meta, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Tanks. Could tanks come back? I don't know. So yeah, small buffs happening for all of that stuff. Cool. Build suggestions. So they're saying an Infinity Edge build. They're actually saying Rush Infinity, then Berserkers, then Zeal, Zeal upgrade, and then Last Whisper. I don't know. I'd probably go Zeal, then Infinity. Oh wait, no, you don't have to. You can rush crit. No. Yeah, you can rush Infinity because this gives... Does it give crit itself? Yes, it does. It gives crit itself. Oh, you can rush Infinity Edge. Okay. Something like Caitlyn, that might actually rush it. A class that you don't need as much attack speed, or a champion that doesn't need as much attack speed early, like a Caitlyn, that's more a bit like has abilities, not just autos. Yeah, Caitlyn could rush Infinity. Okay, cool. All right, simple buffs. Q cost increased late, E damage decreased. So nerfs. Scion getting nerfs to damage. Good. Why does he do so much damage? He's a tank. Well done, Riot. And they are kind of significant. 30 damage at full charge. Yeah, we'll take it. Zyra has been nerfed for damage. And there you go. Bounties have been changed a little bit. Loading screen update. Ranked borders now dynamically update to reflect your current rank. Load in progress is now tracked via a single bar at the bottom of the screen. Clicking a player's card in the loading screen now flips to show additional info. Oh, really? Ooh, that's kind of cool. So if you click a teammate, champion mastery. Why is... I don't care. Honor. Oh, wow, it shows honor. Wow, they've never shown honor publicly before. You can see what your honor is, but if you go on someone else's profile, let's go on Riot Paulie's profile, he's a Rioter, you can't see his honor. Like, it's not a thing. You don't see other people's honor. So they've... What? Holy moly, okay. So also champion mastery and honor. Dude, that could get abused. What I mean by that, if someone's honor is level 0 or level 1, like they're a toxic person, I'm going to camp them as a jungler or a mid lane. I'm going to roam and kill that person a lot. Why? Because I know they're toxic. This is great news. Like, wow, okay, cool. There's a bunch of bugs I'm not going to go through. I will say, kind of hilarious, Heartpiercer Fiora and Heartbreaker Vi. I already have those skins on the other account, on the Huzzing 8 Easy account, the Iron to Diamond account. I was on stream the other day, and people were like, "Oh, can you?" Like, I think someone donated for Vi, and I was like, "Oh, can you wait until the new skin comes out?" And I was like, "Oh, let's see what the new skin is." And I already own them. I own both of them. They're not even in. They're not released yet. So, yeah, kind of funny. But there you go. There's the patch. Pretty long patch note video. Again, I'm okay with a lot of their changes. I just want to make that point. I'm okay with a lot of their changes. I'm happy with an Aatrox nerf. I'm very happy with an Akali nerf. I'm happy with an Aurelia nerf. Yeah, I'm happy in general. Crit meta for me is a hit or miss because I'm not a massive fan of crit. But the frustration that I have in me is Riot basically did nothing in preseason. Like, for 3 months when we're all really frustrated, like, the game was just so boring because there was not many changes. It was just kind of the same old, same old. If they did this and brought a new AD carry meta in preseason, that might have just given some life to preseason. People had to see if it was good. Well, now the testing phase to the new AD carry meta is now in the season. Like, I don't get that. Like, whoever made that decision, I'd love to ask why. Like, why didn't you do this 4 months ago? I don't know. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, throw a like on the video. Comment down below what you think about different changes. And what we can do is have just like some nice conversations about the changes. Like, do you like the... What do you think of the Akali nerf? What do you think of the Aurelia nerf? What do you think of the crit meta coming back? Let me know all that good stuff down below. I'll go down there, comment, and reply to other people too. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy it, like, subscribe, comment down below. And, you know, smash the like button. It does really help. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.